It's so cool to be here. I can't believe we're actually on TV.
Lilly and Jake sat on the comfy couch, their eyes wide with excitement. The studio was buzzing with energy, and they could feel the anticipation in the air. Bright lights shone on them, making everything seem almost magical. They were on TV, and it felt like a dream come true.
Our adventure was amazing. We never thought we'd end up here sharing our story with everyone.
They had been on a camping trip with their parents. It was supposed to be a fun weekend getaway, but things took an unexpected turn when they got lost in the dense forest.
We were scared at first. The forest was so big and we didn't know which way to go.
But we remembered what our parents taught us. They always said to stay calm and think things through.
The TV host smiled warmly, clearly impressed by their bravery and composure.
So tell us, how did two kids survive in the wild? What did you do to find your way back?
Lilly and Jake looked at each other, a silent understanding passing between them, a mischievous twinkle in their eyes. They knew they had a great story to tell. They were about to become the most famous kids in town. Their adventure had not only brought them closer as siblings, but also taught them valuable lessons about courage, teamwork, and resilience. Now they were ready to share those lessons with the world, inspiring other kids to be brave and adventurous. As the interview continued, Lilly and Jake recounted their journey, from the initial fear to the triumphant moment they found their way back. The audience was captivated, hanging on to every word. It was clear that these two young adventurers had left a lasting impression on everyone watching. The TV host and the audience erupted in applause, celebrating the bravery and resourcefulness of Lilly and Jake. They had truly become TV stars, and their story would be remembered for years to come. The woods seemed huge and scary without their parents, but Lilly and Jake held hands, remembering their training.
First things first, we need to find water.
They walked carefully, looking for signs of a stream.
Look, we can follow it downhill. It might lead us to a bigger stream.
The sun was setting as they reached a wider stream. They felt relieved.
Water means safety.
Now it was time to find shelter for the night. The forest floor was scattered with fallen branches and leaves.
Perfect, we can build a shelter.
They gathered branches and leaves, working quickly as the sky grew darker.
This will be our wall against the wind.
Lilly piled leaves against the log, creating a soft bed. Tired but proud, they snuggled together in their leafy nest. The sound of the stream lulled them to sleep. They were safe for the night. A strange sound woke Lilly up. It was a low growl, deep and powerful.
Jake, wake up, she whispered, her heart pounding.
The growl came again, closer this time. They peeked out of their shelter. The moon cast an eerie glow on the trees. Then they saw it, a small tiger cub, its striped fur illuminated by the moon. The cub was whimpering. It looked lost and scared. Lilly and Jake realized it must have escaped from the nearby zoo. The tiger cub saw Lilly and Jake. Its eyes sparkled with curiosity and a hint of mischief. The children stood frozen for a moment, unsure of what to do next. The forest around them was eerily quiet, as if holding its breath in anticipation. It bounded towards them, bumping clumsily on its tiny paws. Each step it took seemed to echo through the forest, breaking the silence. The cub's playful nature was evident in its every move, and it seemed more like a kitten than a fearsome predator.
It just wants to play, said Lilly, her fear turning into concern. She could see the innocence in the cub's eyes, and her heart softened. She took a tentative step forward, her hand outstretched as if to pet the cub.
But Jake knew they had to be careful. He had read stories about wild animals and knew that even a playful cub could be dangerous. We can't let our guard down, he thought, his mind racing with possible plans. We need to lead it back to the zoo, he said. His voice was steady, but there was a hint of urgency. He knew they had to act quickly before the situation got out of hand. If we can get it to follow us, we might be able to keep it safe, he added.
They slowly backed away, hoping the cub would follow. Each step was calculated, and they moved in unison, trying not to startle the cub. The forest seemed to close in around them, the trees casting long shadows in the moonlight. The cub chased them, its tiny roars echoing through the trees. It was a sound that was both adorable and a little bit frightening. The children couldn't help but laugh, despite the seriousness of the situation. The cubs' enthusiasm was infectious. It was like a strange, wonderful game of tag in the moonlight. The forest was their playground, and the cub was their playmate. The moonlight filtered through the trees, casting a magical glow on everything. It felt like a dream, surreal and beautiful. But Lilly and Jake knew they had to end this adventure before someone got hurt. The reality of the situation was starting to set in, and they knew they couldn't keep playing forever. They had to find a way to get the cub back to safety, for its sake and theirs. They reached a clearing, and the zoo's fences were in sight. The dense forest had finally given way to an open space, and the children could see the tall metal barriers that marked the boundary of the zoo. The air was filled with a mix of excitement and relief as they realized they were close to their goal. But the cub was distracted, batting at a butterfly with its paw. The tiny creature fluttered around, seemingly unaware of the cub's playful attempts to catch it. The children watched, amused by the innocent scene, but they knew they had to act quickly before the cub wandered off again.
"Now's our chance," whispered Jake. His voice was barely audible, but the urgency in his tone was clear. He glanced at Lilly, who nodded in agreement. They had to be careful not to startle the cub. He took off his shirt, holding it out like a flag. The bright fabric fluttered in the gentle breeze, catching the cub's attention for a moment. Jake hoped it would help guide the cub towards safety.
Lilly did the same. She carefully removed her shirt and held it out, mirroring Jake's actions. The two children moved slowly, their makeshift flags creating a visual barrier that they hoped would gently corral the cub. They slowly walked towards the cub, their shirts forming a gentle barrier. Each step was deliberate, their eyes never leaving the cub. They whispered words of encouragement to each other, trying to stay calm and focused. The cub looked up, startled. Its big, round eyes were filled with confusion and a hint of fear. For a moment, it seemed unsure of what to do, its tiny body frozen in place. It backed away, bumping right into the zoo's fence. The sudden contact with the cold metal startled the cub even more, but it also prevented it from running off into the woods again. A gate swung open, and a zookeeper rushed out. The children could see the relief on his face as he spotted the cub. He had been searching for the little one for hours, and now, thanks to Jake and Lilly, the cub was finally safe.
"There you are!" he cried, scooping up the cub. His voice was filled with joy and relief. He cradled the cub gently, making sure it felt secure in his arms. "You gave us quite a scare." The zookeeper's words echoed the sentiments of everyone present. The children smiled, proud of their successful rescue mission. They knew they had done something important, and the look of gratitude on the zookeeper's face was all the reward they needed.
The next morning, Lilly and Jake were reunited with their relieved parents. News of their adventure had spread. Everyone called them heroes. They even got to visit the tiger cub at the zoo.
"We were brave," said Lilly, stroking the cub's head.
"But we also remembered to be kind," added Jake.
They knew they would never forget their night in the woods. It was a reminder that even when things get scary, courage, kindness, and teamwork can help you overcome anything. And who knows what exciting adventures awaited them next. Coming up. In Whispers in the Woods, Part 3, Zoo Escape. Lilly and Jake mother told them that she is going to take them to the library too so that they could find a book or two to read because they were spending too much time on their tablets. Please like, share, and subscribe.